Welcome to Getting to Know VR Chat. Today, in our inaugural episode, we have here a Mr. John YTMA, or Johnny MTA, who knows. Now, I guess we can start with your name in and of itself. John is, a common first name, but when people see initials, they always wonder, oh, what does it stand for? What does it mean? So, what does the YMTA in your name mean?
Well, basically, my name was used to be Johnny MTA.
Hmm.
The thing is, back then I played a game that's called MTA. It's multi-tapped auto, and
Hmm.
Johnny was already a common name in this game. So I was like, I need something that people will get to know myself, not as someone else. So I used to like add just the symbols of the game in it. So it's Johnny MTA.
Hmm.
So that's how they recognize me now.
All
It's way
right.
easier for them.
And Multi Theft Auto, was that like a kind of a GTA kind of clone, but like multiplayer kind of thing for our PC?
It was basically just GTA San Andreas converted to multiplayer version, as for example,
Ah.
like says Sam,
Hmm.
and this is just multi-tapped auto, but it's pretty cool.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So, now that we've got the name out of the way, let's talk about the person. Now, currently you are in your early 20s, was it? Early mid 20s?
Yeah, I'm 22 years old.
Okay. All right. So, you're still kind of fresh into the real world. Kind of, not so much, but still. Now, did you happen to go to, well, actually, we should clarify this. What country are you from?
I'm from Germany.
Okay, Germany. So, I don't really know, like, the hierarchy of school, like, education. It goes from, like, for in the US, it goes, like, grade school to high school, and high school covers your ninth to 12th grade. And then after that is college, where you go into, like, your main focus for what kind of job you want. Did you happen to go
Uh,
into anything after like you did your 12th grade stuff?
I actually finished school after my ninth grade because we have another system on it, so I ended it then
Mm-hmm.
and started already learning my job.
Okay, what did you start learning?
I learned wine farming.
Wine farming?
Yes.
Okay. So, like when someone who doesn't know about wine farming hears the term, I believe they would immediately think of like rows upon rows upon rows of grapes in one area and like some kind of machine or something that turned those grapes into liquid into another, and then just an area where you would bottle slash store them. How accurate or non accurate would that be?
It's pretty accurate. I mean, we go through the vineyards and we harvest them with a machine, obviously.
Mm.
Then we bring them home, we push them in a pressure and get liquid out of the grapes, put them into the big storage tank where they start going into fermentation. So they start gaining alcohol and losing the sugar in it. And afterwards, we just pushing them to filters to clean out any bacterial material
Mm.
and bottle them up. And they're ready for sale.
Okay. Now, you said that you have machines that harvest the grapes. Now, what kind of trees, like what kinds of shapes, what kind of sizes are these trees that you harvest the grapes from?
It's like a little, um, it's just basically literally like it's like on the height of like just use centimeters, like
Mm.
100, 120 centimeters
Okay.
height. It's not that big. It's like that size, and the artists of the tree itself just all like leaves and grapes on it,
Mm-hmm.
and we put them between some shapes so they are in like one line. And after a while, like after we harvest it and the winter's coming, they lose their leaves. We cut them back down to like normal tree.
Okay. And the machine that you use, how does it actually go about getting the grapes off of the trees without completely wrecking the tree itself?
It goes above the line. And it's like has like fingers on the sides. They're not touching, but they like go like this, and
Mhm.
it's just like shaking them off. Like they go
Ah,
really fast and shake them off, but they're not really like they're not smashing it. They just shake it off. So they
okay,
fall
okay.
down in the machine and go in the elevator system and go back in like big containers
Hmm.
where we like put them all in. Once we like come to the end of the line, we put them into another trailer. Like we leave them out of the machine and go
Hmm.
put them in another trailer
Okay, and you said that once you get
and
the
drive them
liquid,
home.
okay, okay. Um, you said that once you get the liquid out of the grapes and the process starts to get the sugar out of them and the alcohol into them, is there a certain amount of time, like a predetermined minimum amount of time that you have to wait before you can transfer that liquid into a bottle and have it ready to be shipped out and sold?
Uh, it's like it depends on the year, but we start harvesting in September, and you can already sell it in like January or February.
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes to fermentation, and we need to like probably do something on it so it's ready for the sale because germs are a little bit strict about anything. So we clean it up and then we bottle it up. And before we actually can seal it, we need to give this bottle to a kind of station where they taste it, they check the color on it and whatever. And if everything is fine and they give you a number above 1.5, you're allowed to sell it to the customer. Because then you're getting a number that's only for the wine itself and that's on any label.
Mm-hmm.
It's only in Germany, as far as I know.
Okay.
And then you're actually allowed to sell it.
Mm.
But
Okay.
you get two holdbacks to back, and you need to keep them until the wine is sold. Because if there's something wrong with it, they're gonna get the holdbacks. They have like a label on the cap, so you cannot open it.
Mm.
So they can open it and check if something is went wrong with the wine or not. But most likely it doesn't happen.
Okay, okay. So there is somewhat of a nice turnaround time for the wine. Now, has there ever been a case where someone has come to you from the outside and asked you, once you've put some of the liquid into the bottles, to hold on to them for a certain amount of time to have them age for longer before you ship it out to them?
No, it may only happen to a red wine, but not to a white wine.
Okay, okay. So there's only certain kinds of like wines that you make at your vineyard?
Yeah, like we make like white wine, red wine, and rosé wine. Like we actually make all of the great wines. That's
Hmm.
really there.
I've not heard of that third one. What was this again?
Rosé, it's not really red and it's not really white. It just got that fishy look. Like if you have a raw fish,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like light the red is,
Right.
for example. That's how the wine color looks like.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's I've not heard of that kind of wine before, but all right, that is interesting. So, and you said you started working on this job when you came out of ninth grade. So, how long have you been doing this for now?
I've been doing this for like 6 years now,
6 years. Okay, and you run this
on
with
as a main job.
main job, and you do this with your family, or do you work for a company?
Member of a
I
salty
do
gang
work for
joins the
two
lobby.
companies actually. I do work a full-time job and I do work a half-time job. And back in 2011, I started my own business, which is still growing, but it's starting to get processed. So,
Okay, so you said full time and part time. So, the vineyard is the full time job I'm taking it?
uh, the second company does have vineyards too, so I just work there as a side job to gain more money in a month.
Okay, okay. So you've got those two, and then you're being an entrepreneur, and you've got your own business, which you say is now thriving.
Yes.
Um, what is your business all about?
So far, it's just about normal farming, like crop farming and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, or actually next year, I'm also going to start working in the vineyard myself. So I'm making my own wine then. That should be something good.
Okay, so basically taking all the experience you've gotten in over these past 6 years and putting a little bit of your own spin on it and
Yeah,
seeing where it
Member of his
goes.
salty gang joins the lobby.
Okay,
exactly.
very nice, very nice. And for those who don't know much about the vineyard style of working, how does it pay for you? Does it pay just for those points of time when you're actually in the fields, or do you get paid while you're working and then you get paid again after you sell a shipment, like a commission? Or how does that work?
No, I'm getting paid every month on the main job. Like I have like certain amount of hours I need to work in this month,
Hmm.
like 80 hours. It's like not 80, it's 160 hours.
Okay.
And then I get the fixed amount of money. And the sidekick job is like depending on how many hours I work, I get them paid. It's like
Okay.
if I don't work that much hours, I do not get that much money. If I work much more hours, I do get a lot of money.
Okay, okay. So it's almost like a
So
contracted
there's
sort of job, kind of.
yes, both are contracted jobs. But the
Okay.
secondary, as I said, only if I work or not.
All right.
Ooh,
Okay, you're back.
there you go.
So, the vineyard job seems to be working out very well for you, but was this your first foray into the work field, or did you have a job or two before this?
That's the first.
First one, okay, and this one's just been working out for you so well. It's like I like this. I'm gonna stick with it. And then once you got the feel
It
of
was my
everything,
dream.
it's like, oh, really?
It was
This
my
was your
dream ever
dream.
since I could think about it. Yeah,
Man, what inspired you?
actually, I have no idea. It's just like when I was little, I played with these little tractors, and ever since we live in a little village, I was like, yeah, why not do that? Because once you get self-employed and stuff, you have your own working times, and you still have fun in the job.
Hmm.
But the critics on this job is many people that are self-employed and stuff. They have their own company. Well, this job somewhat leads to let you slip as into an alcoholic because obviously you have to do a lot with alcohol. But
Right.
even though it's required to drink wine, to taste it, and to say how it tastes like and whatever,
Hmm.
ever since I work, I've never drunk one little sip of wine. Not yet,
Hmm.
and I will never do. Due to my past experience with that, and I lost a lot of good people with it because they did
Hmm.
suicide and stuff.
The wine that you guys produce. Of course, you guys just all of a sudden didn't start selling a whole lot of wine like out of nowhere. You had to get the word out somehow to start getting your product out to places. Do you remember any of the steps like in the beginning for when you started getting your wine out to different places?
Well, we basically do not sell many bottles. We produce a lot of wine, but we don't really sell bottles. Like we have like small amount of bottles because we got a guest share house, like
Mm-hmm.
guest house, so people just buy some or whatever. But the rest of the wine just goes to big companies. They come with a truck, they pick it up with a truck in a big tank, and it goes to the big companies and they bottle it up and sell it.
Okay, so basically almost like another kind of contract, just you'll have an amount ready and then you'll
Exactly.
contact the company and they'll come and get it and they'll pay for it.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Very nice. Not too much hassle, so very nice. Now, outside of work, you've got your work, but after you're done with work, you gotta have fun. So, what kinds of extracurricular activities do you like to do outside of work?
I do not really know. The only things are like computer stuff. I just
Mm.
start to get better with it. But most likely I just repair cars for my friends, family, and myself.
Okay,
I've
mechanic,
never
nice.
learned that job. I just started doing that, and I was like, yo, whatever. It's just learning by doing, right?
Hmm.
So I've never ever broke a car. I always fixed them. That's a good part. At
Ah,
least so far.
hmm, hmm. And my father and my brother are both very good mechanics, and I am not. I pretty much know next to nothing about cars besides the basics. I turned into the computer person, you know. I loved computers. I
Mm-hmm.
took them apart and learned about each piece. I could, you know, build a computer just from having all the parts in front of me, and not just hardware side, but software side as well, being able to troubleshoot programs, look into things, you know, fix things like that. It's very nice, you know. My dad, I feel like my dad kind of wishes I would have, you know, been another mechanic, but you know, in a way I am, but you know, not with cars, but with computers. Now,
That sounds cool.
it is. Once you really get to know computers like in a more personal kind of way, they're not really scary at all. It may take a little bit of knowledge, you know, a little bit of studying to get into it, but once you have that, you can do a lot of good with it. A lot of good. Now, one of the things that you had mentioned before, if I remember correctly, you had mentioned that you, at the very least, you had watched the YouTuber Mr. Beast over in the U.S. here.
Yeah.
Yes, he is a very, very awesome YouTuber. You know, that's extremely generous, and he's done a lot of good for many, many communities, and he's helped out, you know, homeless shelters, homeless people, schools, a whole lot of things. But he's also done some absurdly funny and like crazy stuff with his group of friends as well, and put like a lot of money on the line for it. Now, and this is leading to another question here. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt like you could help someone out in that way? And if so, what did you end up doing?
I end up often in these situations. Like, I do not go to cities that often, but when I do, I see a lot of homeless people like begging for money or food.
Hmm.
I most likely don't have it cash on me because I'm really scared of getting like, you know,
Right,
robbed
mugged or
or
something
whatever.
like that, right?
Yeah. So whatever I have, I give it to them. Or I made a lot of friends in VR chat, and most of them stream.
Hmm.
So when I hear about bad situations, like I was in bad shape with money myself earlier this year and whatever, because I didn't work full time because I did go to another school to get more knowledge about the job and whatever, if you're to the liquidation.
Okay, so you did
But
some studying on the side,
then
okay.
as I started full time, yeah, when I started full time jobbing, like middle of the year, I saw people in bad shape. For example, we got a lot of them here, like he's losing his house because whatever's going on. So I felt like why not be generous to him, and I give him over 150 subs,
Hmm.
nearly 200, and I just donated him like over 1k dollars
Hmm.
just to help him out in this situation. I wish I could do it more often, but obviously I also limit with money.
Right.
But I try to do it at least every month to find someone who needs something and just go up to them and do it. And
Hmm.
yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, hello, little ones.
Hey,
Jesus.
wann nicht so lustig wie erwartet.
So the next thing I ended up with is gifting like 5 coins away on my Twitter site, and we picked like 5 winners yesterday, and they all installing it now. They sent me pictures of the proof that they're downloading it, so I'm
Hmm.
happy about it. I try to make people happy in any possible way.
Right. So, I think this almost just about wraps up the first episode. And I would say the last thing that I would want to say is there anything of yours that you want to plug? Like anything from your business, any of your like social stuff, your Twitch, maybe YouTube channel, anything like that. Anything you want to plug.
Alright, alright. If people want to search me up, they can. I'm wherever. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I don't really do advertising because I feel like if I do advertising a lot, people get tired of it, and it's like, yeah, he's doing another advertising. If they want to search me out, they can. They can feel free to it. I was never the kind of person that did a lot of advertising to others. It's like, yeah, I do stream. If you want to search me up, you can, but you don't have to.
All right,
So
fair
it's all
enough.
right.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much, John, for being with me here today in this very inaugural first episode of Get to Know VR Chat. And I feel like, I've gotten to know you quite a bit more, and you are an amazing, amazing person.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a problem, man. So, until next time, everybody, thank you for watching. As always, take care and have yourself a good one.